everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Hits. Higgins, Bonnie, you know the deal. You know who we are. Coming at you.
You know the vibes.
Yeah, and especially Bonnie's vibes too. Come on now. If you don't know Bonnie's vibes, then you're missing out. Because that's the only vibes you need to be on. Just his. Just his.
Yes.
But listen, so today we're going to be talking about some of our NBA midseason award picks, MVP, Rookie of the Year, Sixth Man, Best Team, Worst Team. And we're also going to be going through some of the best moments in sports from the year 2021 since New Year's Eve is tomorrow, guys. Or by the time you see this, it might be today. So hopefully 2022 is much better than 2021 and 2020 because the last 2 years have been kind of hell for all of us. So from us, from the two of us, happy 2022. We hope your year is great. We do.
Can only get better, I feel like. But hey, we probably said that last year, but
I mean, more than likely, we probably were like, yeah, 2022 or 2021 is gonna be great. And then they shut our lacrosse team down. COVID still exists. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Just a nightmare.
it was like shout out Greg Woodward.
Shout out Greg Woodward, you piece of human garbage. Oh my god.
That should be we should talk about this probably like right before a season start. Yeah. Just go over this whole thing because it is unreal. Like I feel like we've talked about it off and on for a little bit, but like oh my gosh. The facts out of this story are like unbelievable. Like you wouldn't even believe it. But
for people that listen, I have a video up of just myself from over the summer where I detail the whole experience. So if you want to know more about it, go check out that video because I go in depth into it and I rant for like 30 minutes about just this nightmare situation that we had to go through, that everybody at that school had to go through, at least athletically. So
yeah, and shout out to the 10 guys that are still there, man. Like
yeah.
We gotta go into it another time. Maybe we have like one of the guys on for the pod. I don't know.
No, we absolutely should actually. We should get let's get Coach Martin on the pod next time.
Yeah, I feel like you love that, man.
I think you would love that. Like we should do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Mark it down.
Book it.
But we got other stuff to talk about today. So the first thing that we wanted to talk about, which we talked about before the show, something that happened 2 days ago. John Madden, legendary coach, legendary announcer, passed away at the age of 85 on the 28th. And for everybody that's played Madden football, for people who are diehard NFL fans like me and Bonnie are, John Madden is synonymous with the NFL. So to lose somebody of that stature is heartbreaking. And thank God it wasn't at a young age. I guess, he's lived a very fulfilling life, right? But it's sad nonetheless, and people fail to remember the fact that before he was a legendary broadcaster for almost 30 years, he was a damn good NFL head coach. Damn good, got to, I want to say 3 Super Bowls. Three Super Bowls. He won a Super Bowl. They were the toughest competition to the Steel Curtain Steelers 70s team. It was them and the Raiders battling out in the AFC for years. And if you go back and watch old clips of John Madden just freaking out on the sidelines, it's pretty funny. Like
awesome.
He's so big and his face got so red and he would freak out at the refs and everybody. It's fun. It's like classic Raiders stuff, But hopefully him and Al Davis are chilling together right now, talking about how the NFL wants to screw over the Raiders. Pat Summerall. But John Madden dies at 85, true football hero.
Yeah, I totally agree with all of the things you've just elaborated on. He's the winningest head coach of like all time in terms of winning percentage. Like I think that's like pretty incredible because his career wasn't very long, but it was very effective. He was a phenomenal coach. Then he went on to his little broadcasting career, just a little, 30 years and all. And my favorite thing that he actually created is the telestrator, like the thing where, you see like guys like Tony Romo.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tony Romo is the main one that pretty much uses it now, who just like kind of draws on your little screen, on your little TV screen, wherever you are. around the globe, and he kind of explains like what is happening. I thought that was like really cool to like learn from the documentary that they just aired literally on Christmas. So I thought that was really, really strange timing. Just like, wow, that's incredible. Like you're watching a documentary about this guy that had 3 Hall of Fame careers and then he's dead unexpectedly like 3 days later. But I think the greatest impact that he'll probably have in terms of legacy will be the video game. Like I think for our generation and maybe the ones prior, I mean, I believe that a lot of those guys have, or guys and gals, have seen him as the broadcaster, the guy with Al Michaels, Pat Summerall, the other play-by-play guys that he was blessed to be around, and he really created a long-lasting impact on color analysts, pretty much regardless of what sport you were doing and how you conduct yourself. The kind of ab libs. Would you call those ab libs like the boom? Would you call that an ab lib?
Yeah, it's or like a there's a word for it, like boom, or
it's a sound effect. Yeah,
there's like an English word for it, like something we definitely learned in high school, for sure.
Yeah. Forget about it. Yeah, it went in one ear out.
We're stupid.
Yeah, it's all right. Regardless of the point. Also, the Greyhound, I thought that was fantastic. You'll never see that ever again just because of social media and like the people like just following the Greyhound everywhere he went. He'd just go to random places throughout the United States, just stop, get something to eat some Sabara. Is it Sabara? Is that what the pizza place is called?
Sabara, classic New York slice, Sabara, according to Michael Scott.
Yeah, that's I saw that the other day.
This is my favorite New York pizza place right here, the best spot in town. Oh, it's so funny. Oh my god, it's so funny.
But yes, I think the video game like aspect of it is incredible. I think you're gonna have kids 20, 30, 40, probably our kids playing Madden if the NFL is still around, hopefully. Just with how the trajectory of the game is going right now, you really never know. But hopefully those like our kids are playing Madden and like they're asking about John Madden and we can be like give them this whole little history lesson like we're a bunch of historians, from the good old days or whatever. But yeah, I think John Madden's legacy is obviously he's probably one of the most influential person to ever really grace football.
Absolutely,
and it's just sad.
It is. It's very sad. But you're absolutely. You listen. You nailed it, man. Like Madden will be his lasting impact. Like the video game. I mean, I play all the time still. They need to fix the game, first of all. It's the same thing every single year. Every year. Not John Madden's fault. It's EA's fault, but they gotta fix it. I'll buy it every year though. I enjoy
it. That's part of the problem.
But. You know what it is? You know what I like doing? Every year I just go in, I rebuild the Jets. And I'll tell you what though, Vaughn. If I was the general manager of the Jets, that team would never be bad. Because I know how to rebuild that team. I've done it every year. I do it every single year, and I could be the GM, but all
at least they've quadrupled the wins this year. I think that's a positive start. You can only go up from 1 win to 4. So,
dude, but let's not go into the Jets rabbit hole because
they did win last week. So shout out the Jets.
Yes, shout out the Jets. Shout out our boy Chucky because he texts me every day or all the time about Jet stuff. He loves it.
Shout out Frank Gore, who got absolutely annihilated a couple weeks ago.
He got rocked by Darren Williams of all people. Like, come on.
That's a hell of a segue, though, that we just absolutely set up on a golden platter for you. Just absolutely slam dunk.
We're getting better.
Not me. Not me.
Bonnie, through the camera, fist bump. Fist bump. Woo. Crushed it. We're getting so good at this. But yes, perfect segue. We're going into our midseason picks for NBA awards. We're not going to take up too much time of it because we still want to go into the best moments. But we're going to start off with Bonnie's pick for MVP because I like it. Because I like who he picked.
Yeah, because you're a little biased towards this team. But the MVP for me, honestly, is Kevin Durant. I think his numbers speak for themselves. He averages nearly 30 points a game. He nearly has 8 rebounds a game, I believe. And he's got almost 6 assists a game, which are MVP numbers. But I think the fact that he has led this team through you could say a lot of adversity, kind of self-inflicted adversity with Kyrie Irving not really playing at all this season due to the whole COVID vaccination thing, which we're not a political podcast, and we'll not get into that
We will not.
because that would be we will not touch that. I
Mhm.
think the COVID situation in general it has affected that team greatly, as pretty much everyone on the Nets has been out at one point in this season. I think James Harden kind of starting off slow to begin this season, with his hamstring problem that he had last season really kind of slowed him down, and the lack of free throws that he was getting. But also, I just think he's the best player in the world. And I think if you're the best player in the world, you should get this award more than I think the couple times he has gotten it. I think he's only won it once, correct?
Just once. Just once.
Yeah. He's the greatest. He could be arguably the greatest scorer of all time in terms of how easy he makes it look.
Mhm.
And I just think he's at his peak right now in terms of like all of his superpowers. He's got everything in the game that you could ever want in terms of, you know, step backs, his shooting ability, his skill. It's kind of unmatched. I mean, I don't think there's anybody that's really close to him in matter of skill. Maybe Steph in terms of he does it, but I think Kevin Durant just he's just the Slim Reaper, man. He's the Slim Reaper.
He is. And listen, I love that pick because I'm a big KD fan, and you're right. He's the greatest scorer, definitely of this generation, maybe ever. I wanted to stay away from the bias a little bit, although I think Kevin Durant's very deserving of it. Clearly, I mean, they're the best team in the East right now. But I think what Steph has done this year, the Warriors are the best team in the NBA, and we'll get to that later. 27-5-5, great. He's leading that team with, granted, a defensive player of the year candidate in Draymond, and you have Wiggins, you have a few guys. I mean, Jordan Poole, you have the two rookies, Kuminga and Moody. They're not like a stacked team though. They're not the Warriors of 5 years ago when they had all those guys in the fold, and they're going to get Clay back, but I can't imagine Clay's going to be anything close to what he was just because he's been out for so long. Hopefully he is. That'd be great to see. But I think what he's doing with that team, best team in the West, his numbers, his averages, he broke the three-point record this year. I'd give it to him. I'd give it to him. I could make a case for KD, and I would love to. If he won it, it'd be great because, going Nets and everything, but I'd give it to Steph.
Yeah, I think as of now, I think Steph is the front runner, but I think it's going to change throughout the season because it's so competitive. I mean, I think other guys that we can mention is Giannis. Obviously, when he's healthy, he's been absolutely dominant this season.
Mhm.
Obviously, Nikola Jokic is everyone's favorite MVP race just because he literally carries that team without their second and third best player in terms of Jamal Murray, who's still recovering from that ACL injury, I believe, or was it an Achilles? Fact check that maybe. It's a major injury. He's coming off a major injury, and then you got Michael Porter Jr., who's had the lingering back problem for a very long time, and he's going to be out probably for this season. And who knows if he ever will play basketball again. But I think those four are going to kind of just rock the boat, kind of like one week it's going to be one, they're going to go off, and then Kevin Durant might go off the next week, and then Giannis might have a absolute surge where he comes out and dominates, and then Nikola Jokic, the Joker, he might be the wild card. I don't know.
I love his game, I really do. But let's go to rookies now. Rookie of the year. So my pick is Scottie Barnes for a few reasons. So he's averaging 15 and 8 right now. Really good. He's leading rookies almost in points and definitely in rebounds right now. He is just also one part of a Toronto Raptors team that's been very surprising this year. They've done a lot of good things, but a lot of people didn't expect them to do a lot of good things, especially in a very packed top half of the East, or what it seems like on paper. He's been very impressive, and he was a guy who rose up in the draft process a lot like Patrick Williams did the year before, who also went to Florida State. And Patrick Williams last year didn't show me a lot as far as this guy could be a stud, and Patrick Williams hasn't played all year to my knowledge. Nope, that's wrong. You know what I'm thinking? You know what I'm thinking of? I have him in my 2K team. He hasn't played all year because he's been hurt. That's embarrassing. Holy shoot! Wow. I can't believe I just did that. That's so weird. I like 2K, guys. It's fun. But no, Scottie Barnes has been very impressive this year. I think him or Mobley would be my pick, but I think Scottie Barnes right now is inching farther away from Mobley at this point. I know
Yeah,
I think you had Mobley there.
I have Mobley. I'm a little biased, but I also think this is absolutely a two-horse race. I think Barnes and Mobley have been the two best rookies. They've kind of distanced themselves from the rest of the pack. I think Jalen Green is still going to flirt with it. And the Pistons, the first round pick, Cade Cunningham,
There you go.
he's been coming on as of late as well. So I think those two are guys to watch out for, even though they're the first and the second round pick of the draft. But they have been playing good ball recently. But I think Evan Mobley, just on the simple fact that I think this whole Cavs team has really found a new energy and has been really impressive and surprising, frankly, this season. I think over the past couple of seasons, you've seen them start the season somewhat well, and then maybe like 5 games, and then they just absolutely fall off a cliff because it's a young team and you had a lot of disgruntled veterans that kind of were not happy with the situation of the organization at that moment in time. But simply put, I think Evan Mobley's made a major difference on this team. I think him and Jared Allen and this new let's go big
Yeah,
type situation in Cleveland.
3 7 players on the court at the same time.
Yes, with Laurie Marketing. But yeah, I think he's been very good for them. He's averaged around 14 points a game. He's gotten 8 rebounds a game and 2 assists. So I think those numbers speak for themselves. He's been out, I think, the past week, or he's been out the past week with COVID. So I think this is a team, and him, that he could win this award just based upon the success of his team and kind of the impact he's had. Maybe in the sense of like the most valuable player, even though we don't necessarily call it the most valuable player. I mean, we do call it the most valuable player, but it's not really the most valuable player. If we're going to be honest, it's probably who's had the best season. Because if it was the most valuable player, LeBron would probably have 8 MVP awards. But that's another discussion for another day.
Yeah,
in terms of how we view MVPs. But I think Evan Mobley, in terms of his value to his team and kind of how this team has really just been really good, I think can edge Scottie Barnes in that. But I think it's going to be a 2-horse race.
You make very valid points. I don't disagree with a single one. I mean, I feel like we have to disagree about something at some point. We'll figure it out.
We will figure it out.
There's got to be something. I mean, but you're right. I mean, Evan Mobley has been the most valuable rookie just because of how good the Cavs have been this year. So I give you that. I just think Scottie Barnes is a little bit better.
Yeah, it is the rookie of the year. So we do base it off of actual season and not of value to their team. So Scottie Barnes could win it.
Absolutely.
We'll see. We're halfway through the season.
All right. And then, all right. So now we're going to our 6th man. And I think we get the same guy, right?
We do not have the same guy. I went Dubrey.
You have Dubrey. That's right. You have Dubrey. Going to Kelly Oubre for us.
Kelly Oubre last season wasn't great, I would say. He was on a Warriors team that maybe disappointed, you could say, maybe, possibly. I didn't know if he really expected much from the Golden State Warriors last year, but he goes to the Charlotte Hornets, which I totally forgot. Didn't really know he went there, so humble brag me, go me. But he's been very good off the bench for them. He's averaged 17 points a game on a team that's in a playoff contention. Is frankly in the playoff contention. So those guys are playing really good ball, and I think he's been a really good addition. In my opinion, he's the type of player that kind of needs the ball to kind of get in his bag a little bit and create for himself, which he is a capable shooter, and he's pretty athletic and long. I think he's around 6'6", 6'7", 6'8". He's kind of in that wing area, which I think is why a lot of teams value him. And he can frankly score, so he can go out and get a bucket. Kind of like Jordan Clarkson, who did win the award last year. He's kind of a bucket getter. So for me, I have him, but I think this guy that you're about to talk about, Mr. Hero, is going to run away with this award.
Absolutely. I think it's no question. I mean, he's shooting 41% from 3 right now off the bench. He's still averaging 32 minutes a game, but scoring 20 points a game. I think it's just no-brainer. That Heat team looks real good right now. Kyle Lowry has looked great there and is going to help them for that next NBA Finals push. But Hero off the bench makes a lot of sense, just the way their team is built, and he's crushing the role right now. Big fan of Tyler Hero. I think, like, also he's so funny, man. You ever listen to him talk? He's so funny.
Yeah, he's a clown, man.
He's from Milwaukee, and it's like, what's good, my boy? What's up? Like, I don't know, man. It makes me laugh. Like, it's very strange to me. I feel like he should talk like with a Mrs. Boniface accent, like a Wisconsin accent.
Like a true northern Wisconsin accent. Not really northern,
Yeah,
but
I would do it for
Minnesota.
everybody if I wasn't. I'd be too embarrassed if I messed it up, so I won't do it. But I think I could do it a little bit.
Yeah, I think it comes out of me sometimes.
It does.
Here and there.
It so
So
does. Like, are you kidding
yeah,
me?
I didn't. Yeah, I've grown up, man. It's great. It's great having a Wisconsin
Yeah,
accent. There you go, right there.
Yeah, now you live on the mistake on the lake. Good job, buddy.
Yeah,
Way to go.
Shut up, the 216.
Oh my god. All right, real quick, because we gotta get to our best moments. And for people watching, we're using Zoom. We only have 40 minutes, so we're gonna go Defensive Player of the Year real quick. Bonnie, who's your pick? Because I forget.
For a defensive player, I totally just blanked out for no reason.
A+ content from the boys today, guys. A+ content. Yo, Kelly Oubre is 6th man of the year, but I didn't even know he was on the board. Sorry. I didn't mean to clown you, Bonnie. You know I love you.
Nah, it's funny. I absolutely deserve it.
Oh my god.
But we're going with the best team. Best team.
Yo, best team.
I think it's Brooklyn. If they have Kyrie. If Kyrie can play, I think it's Brooklyn.
Okay.
It was last year, and it's pretty much the same team. And it's 3 really good scorers and a bunch of pieces that I think actually fit this team better than they did last year. Patty Mills has been a revelation. He's been incredible for them. He's continued his Olympics form from this summer. He's been a really good piece. I think adding Paul Millsap adds some grit, adds some spacing, adds some defense. LaMarcus Aldridge, we'll see how that works. I think he gives them a low post presence. Claxton has been very good for them, I think, this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's long. He's their rim protector. And I think it was great that they moved on from DeAndre Jordan. Blake Griffin's been really good. But if the Brooklyn Nets don't have Kyrie Irving, I think it's the Bucks. And here's why. I think they match up extremely well against the Western Conference teams.
Yeah.
I think you can't really stop Steph Curry, but if there's a guy that will give him problems, it is Drew Holiday on defense. You factor in Chris Middleton and Giannis, those are tough matchups for the Warriors, in my opinion. I don't think they're necessarily built to guard those 2 guys. I think Draymond Green can't guard 2 guys at once. And he's more of a help defender, if I'm going to be honest. Like, I think his strength is organizing a defense. It's not really on ball. It is on ball defense. He's a very, very good on ball defender, but I think his best asset is when he's kind of helping off of people. And I think with how the pieces they've also added, I think Grayson Allen has been a good piece for them. DeMarcus Cousins has been really good for them the past couple of weeks. Just watching them from afar. Pat Connaughton, George Hill, Wesley Matthews, Semi Ojeleye. There's more and more. Bobby Portis is still there.
Yeah, that was good pronunciation, by the way. That was really good.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself. I backed it up. I backed up my performance. But and honestly, I think the winner's going to come out of the East. I really do. I think those teams just give matchup problems to the teams out of the West, specifically the Warriors and the Suns. And I believe that whoever wins that Eastern Conference Finals, similar to last year, will win the finals again this year.
I agree. I'm with you on that. And that will also, right now, my best team's the Warriors for reasons I talked about when I was talking about Steph. But you're right in the fact that there's a lot of mismatched nightmares in the East right now. Giannis, KD, Jimmy Butler, even, like, just guys that can go out and put the ball in the basket. And it doesn't matter. And also, what you said about Draymond Green, too, that's why he's my defensive player of the year. Because he can run that defense. Draymond Green plays basketball defense a lot like Zach Higgins plays lacrosse defense.
Except on steroids.
Yeah, just a little bit at a higher level. That's like, because, like, you know how I play. I'm just like, I direct stuff. I'm not the best on ball, but I can be the loudest on the field. So that's why, I have to give Draymond his props for that, and I'll have to pick him, But I think Warriors best. Sorry, what's up?
No, continue.
I said, listen, that's why Draymond's my defensive player of the year. So the Warriors are my best team right now, and the worst team by far is up in Detroit. Just garbage. Hot garbage. Holy hell. Oh my God.
That team needs some more talent.
A
That's
little
what they
bit.
need.
Just a little bit more. They'll get it.
Yeah, they'll get it through the lottery. They'll probably get the number 1 pick. I don't know who they picked this year. Is it Chet Holmgren?
You go Chet Holmgren, Paolo Branchero.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys.
It's like Isaiah Todd from Auburn. That's not right. That's not his name. Isaiah Todd's at Kentucky. It's basically a 2-man race. It's Paolo Branchero and Chet Holmgren. Pick them. You know, like Chet Holmgren is like the more like NBA.
He's the longer,
Yeah, like he's 7'1" and can shoot the lights out of the ball, but he's also like 190. Like he's skinny, really skinny. And then like Branchero is like the big boy inside, you know, like 6'9", 230, big.
Yeah, no, I do agree. I think there's also another, going back to one of your earlier points, I think if Klay Thompson gets back to what he used to be in terms of, which I think he may, I think there's a better chance that he does than he doesn't. But there's such a long layoff that it may take some time. But by May and June, when these games are happening, I think the Warriors are, I think they'll get out. They do win. But I just see the Bucks, and I think there's just too much firepower on those teams. And for me, like, I'm just going to bet on the East.
I can get behind that.
But we'll see.
We don't like the West anyway. West Coast kind of sucks, man. East Coast, ride or die. That's us. Well, I don't even know. I guess you're like
the Midwest, man. Very much the Midwest.
Ugh, gross.
Yeah. Whatever.
Gross.
All right, let's get to our favorite sports moments of the year. It's been a very action-packed, pretty much year of sports. Obviously, I think the one thing that a lot of people don't really think about, but I think is just a big moment overall, is the fact that fans are back in stands. I think that's something that it is a moment in itself. And I think the fans honestly make the sports, and they make these businesses become billions of dollars worth. They get billionaires involved. They make them players millionaires, and it's kind of just everlasting cycle of, you know, everyone just helping out each other. And I think having the fans back, creating these environments, especially, I think it really paid off during the NBA playoffs. I think having those fans back at an arena that is thousands of people is something that's very exhilarating, and something it's hard to explain when you play a basketball game and you have a crowd. Just the energy and the vibe is just completely different. I think the Super Bowl, which is, we'll get to your kind of one of your moments, which does involve the Super Bowl. I think having the fans there with Tampa Bay playing at pretty much a home game, it was a huge advantage for Tampa Bay that I don't think is talked enough, because it was the first time that a home team played in their home stadium and won. So I think having the fans back was a big deal.
Absolutely. And that was my big moment for the year, was when Antoine Winfield gave the deuces sign to Tyreek Hill. I thought that was hysterical. Big win for the Bucs, big win for Brady. And yeah, it was a home game for Tampa Bay. I mean, that was when they started to let fans in smaller numbers, and they could go in and watch the game. And that, I'd have to imagine that had some kind of impact on the game. You know, you're in Tampa Bay with Bucs fans playing the Bucs in the Super Bowl, and with the Chiefs, I feel like that's a hard situation to walk into, especially when that defense was just horrendous that year. So big moment for sure. And then other than that, Tiger coming back, huge, because we know. Shoot, come on, Zach, speak. You know we love our boy Tiger. He's the man. It's his birthday as of the time we're filming this right now. And if you go through some of his stats that are being posted today, it's absurd. It's so ridiculous, his stats. Like, he's not even 50 yet, and he's outpacing all of these guys at golf until they were like in their 70s. He's outpacing them. And it's slowed down because he's been hurt and whatever, but he's doing it. And now he's doing it with his son, which is so cool to watch. Both of them wearing like Sunday Reds is so. Look, I got my Reds on right now.
I kind of got red on. I got my little Wisconsin shirt.
You got your Badgers on. That's red. Yeah. That's red.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. I think that was a huge moment, especially when he came back and was hitting golf balls again after that horrendous car accident, and he's having fun with the game. And I think everyone just respects the hell out of Tiger. And you can argue that he's one of the greatest athletes of all time in terms of accomplishments, dominance, importance to the sport. You can kind of go on and on with Tiger. I mean, you really can. I mean, the fact that we call him Tiger, I think, is the ultimate respect. That you could just say the word Tiger and everyone would be like, "Oh, Tiger Woods."
Well,
Not even the animal.
But do you know what his real first name is though?
It's awesome. I think I do know what it is.
Is it
Isn't
awesome?
It Eldrin?
It's Eldrin.
Yeah.
Is that awesome?
Eldrin. Yeah. Yeah, it's incredible.
Is it? I don't know, man.
You gotta respect it though.
No, it's all the respect for him. But on the funnier side of moments in sports, what I thought was very funny is not that long ago too, Pistons Lakers, Isaiah Stewart just running after LeBron. Isaiah Stewart, by the way, is like our age. You know, he's 21, 22 years old. And LeBron is LeBron, but no cares in the world. He was going to go beat him up, or at least try to. It was so funny.
Yeah, that was so funny. It was almost, thank God we didn't have another Mouse of the Palace Part 2 again. Because it was looking like that, man. Like,
for yourself,
in terms of like how
awesome.
he was, not for ask Jermaine O'Neal about that. But
well, I watched that documentary and I saw it, but like,
I mean, it was absurd what happened, but that's also a good documentary on Netflix. We'll plug Netflix.
Very good.
They don't need any
sponsor us, Netflix. We're plugging content for you. Just plug us in your shows. I want to be on an episode of like, I don't know what's a Netflix only show. I don't even know.
There's a lot of them, but
I know there's a lot of them. But now I'm drawing.
A lot of them come to mind.
I don't know. Put us in an episode of Outer Banks.
There you go. We'd fit in perfectly.
Let me hang out with Sarah. That'd be great. Yeah, we're plugging you. Let me hang out with Sarah Cameron for a few minutes.
Just 1 second. Just 1 second.
All I need is a minute.
Yes, you do. All you do is you need a minute.
All I need is a minute.
Wow, that was not English.
Get her hooked on Zach for life. That's all I need.
Yep, that's how that works. Mm-hmm. I think another moment that does stand out for me is the Bucks winning the championship. Just personally,
yeah,
it was a tough summer for my family, and we were all together for a funeral in the northern part of Wisconsin when they beat the Nets, and I thought that was like a really cool family moment. And then they go on and win the championship with absolutely just legendary plays with the Giannis block. I think it was in Game 4. Was it Game 4? Yeah, because they play it's 2-3-2. So yeah. Mm-hmm. That Giannis block, I think of the Drew Holiday kind of strip and then the lob to Giannis where he just throws it to the moon and he somehow just dunks it. And then the 50-piece that he had to close out that series, I thought was just like a really defining moment. Obviously, the Bucks have not won in a while. I think it was the 70s or maybe the early 80s when the last time they won with Oscar Robinson and Kareem. Abdul-Jabbar. So I think that was just a really special moment, just personally, but I think also just for the NBA in terms of significance. Giannis is really the first player, other than Hakeem Olajuwon, where you can really consider him to be the best player in the world, and he's an international player. I think that's something that's really unique and cool about this championship, and he's so accomplished already at 26, 27 years of age that you could argue that he's already had a Hall of Fame type career in terms of the accolades that he's already accomplished, and he's just only getting started. So for me, I think that was just a big moment.
No, that's a big moment. I was gonna clown you for going biased with the moment, and then you told that story, and then I just felt like a piece of garbage. So we love you.
Yeah, that was the only reason why.
No, but also it's like, no, you're right. It's a big moment for the NBA for a small market team like Milwaukee to win it, and to win it for the first time 50 years is huge. And Giannis is further cementing himself as one of the best players of our generation. I think it's pretty clear at this point. He's outstanding. He's a mismatch nightmare. I wish you could develop like a reliable three-point shot because then he'd just be a nightmare. It's getting better. At least he's not like Ben Simmons. Like at least he has it.
At least he shoots the ball.
Yeah. Shout out Philly. Shout out all my hometown guys. Ben Simmons.
Shout out Ben Simmons for getting all-star votes. That was hilarious. Did you see that on Twitter?
Yeah. Oh, I saw it. I saw it. It's like 2 million votes.
I was about this close to retweeting it. It was awesome.
I think I might have. It was so funny. Put him in
We
the
should
All-Star.
retweet it from
He's
our
gotten
account.
fined $2 million just for not playing. Put him in the All-Star game. It would be awesome.
We should retweet it from our podcast account. We should do that.
Yes.
Follow
us on our Twitter podcast account for people that aren't yet. It's there.
There you go. Plug.
We're plugging everything today. Oh my gosh. But
you got another one, Higgs?
What's that?
You got another sports moment on the top of your head or not?
I really don't. I mean, you know what? Actually, you know what? I got one more. Rutgers playing in the Gator Bowl, January 1st. Biggest moment of the year. I know it's in 2022, with them announcing it in 2021. Makes it a 2021 moment. Go Scarlet Knights. Go Shiano. Go Gabagool.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think another one for me is simply Lionel Messi leaving Barcelona. Obviously, I'm a soccer guy, and I think that moment when kind of the drama behind it was just absolutely kind of surreal, to be honest. Basically, what happened is Barcelona was going to re-sign him, I think, to I don't know how long the deal was going to be, but La Liga, the first division league in Spain, essentially said that you couldn't sign Messi because of his wages were so high, and they have kind of a salary cap kind of deal, not really, but kind of, where you can't have like a wage bill so high. And they signed a fellow countryman, Sergio Aguero, who retired just recently, and one of the all-time greats in the Premier League. But Messi, essentially, and his dad, who's his Jorge, who's his agent, essentially were like, yeah, we can't re-sign you, because he was a free agent. So that whole announcement was really surreal, because he's been on that club for so long, and that was such a global, like, holy crap moment that, like, you just like couldn't believe Messi playing for another team. And then he goes to PSG, and he hasn't been great, but that's okay. Cristiano Ronaldo has, but that's all right. It's all good. But I think that's another moment that stands out for me. Just Messi and Ronaldo coming home, obviously. But I think more of Messi leaving, because Ronaldo's left more than a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for me, Messi everyone just thought he was just going to retire at Barcelona, and that's what everybody wanted, but it just couldn't happen that way.
Doesn't always work out that way. That's Tom Brady. Doesn't always work out that way.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Nope.
But no, it's a big moment in the soccer world. I mean, you put it the right way. Everyone thought he would stay there, and he didn't, and it kind of shocked the soccer world. It did. That's a good one. I didn't even think about that. That's pretty good. I know I'm not as big a soccer guy as you are, but I at least should have thought of that. At least.
It's also a moment that you really don't think about, just because, he's not playing for, I mean, PSG is a huge club, don't get me wrong, but it's not one of those traditional, like, big clubs where it's like a AC Milan, Inter Milan, United, Arsenal. Arsenal's not a big club. What am I saying? Man City, obviously, Liverpool. It's not one of those big clubs that Juventus is another big club, but it's not one of those. PSG is a huge club, obviously, and they still haven't achieved their goal of winning the Champions League, which is their goal with Messi, obviously. But yeah, it's a huge moment leaving Barcelona.
Definitely. All right, guys, those are our best moments from the year 2021 in the sports world. Also, as we close out 2021, we head into 2022. To the people that watch and follow us on social media and tell your friends about us, guys, thank you. Seriously, and we're gonna go into 2022 going strong, the team back together. Just the only boys you want to see on YouTube, just us.
Our beautiful, ugly facial hairs that we have on our faces.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
Nah, I'm speaking for myself.
Come on.
Nah, it looks beautiful.
Thanks, honey. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Like, I don't know. I think the facial hair looks okay. I just trimmed it.
Yeah. It looks good.
Now I'm feeling self-conscious. Damn you.
Oh, relax. Dude.
Damn
it's
you.
just a joke.
I'm ending the show before I get more upset. I'm ending it for the both of us. You're making me sad. Seriously, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Enjoy New Year. Enjoy the New Year day, New Year's Eve. Be safe. Have fun. We will see you guys in 2022.